Hello guys, welcome back to another video. This is the Football Connect. I'm your host Sam and we are back again with another one. So today it's Wednesday, people, and we are looking at every news that is hitting the public eye and some of the breaking news that we need to keep an eye on. So I'm just gonna go through some of the things that has been happening all over the world, give my thoughts, and I want to hear your thoughts as well in the comment section. Do you agree with some of the things that is happening here? So I hope you're gonna give me some time, maybe 30 minutes to something, I don't know, somewhere there, so that we can analyze every single thing that has been happening during this week of the first week of the Premier League. And I hope you're excited. Let's get into the video. So there is a lot of things that has happened since the Premier League actually began, and we're gonna just look at it and maybe their impact in terms of the game and the stuff like that. So firstly, the injuries. So game week week one was one of the best because we noticed that some of the teams that people thought that were not ready showed that they were ready, and some of the teams that people did not even think about showed some best performance that gave people some hope and even some fear to some people who are watching. Teams like Aston Villa, people expected them to have something to prove, but well, the results never lie. Newcastle massacred them, if that is the best word I can use. But this whole week did not go without injuries. So many players picked up some crazy injuries, and during the week they were being assessed to see how much these injuries will actually affect the teams, and trust me, it's not looking good. So we're gonna go through them and we're gonna talk about them. Firstly, the champions, Kevin De Bruyne. The first game of the week, that was on Friday, proved that it was one of the best. It came out as one of the best games in terms of the performance, in terms of how Haaland showed that he's still on his mark to try to break his own record of the Premier League. But also, it did not leave the pitch without also some sad news, as we learned that Kevin De Bruyne picked up an injury in his knee, which he picked up the last time, but City decided to allow him to heal naturally during the preseason. And I think that was not a good idea. Now we're being told that this hamstring that he picked up is something that he picked up in the Champions League final. If he had gone for surgery, he could have already come back, or maybe could be finishing part of his recovery and coming back. So okay, but they delayed to do something. Now this is forcing them to do the surgery now, and this could take the player out for the next 3 to 4 or 5 months out. The reason why they are saying maybe 5 is because of the age of him, the player, and how much maybe it's now taking for him to heal. So he'll go through the surgery and he'll start recovering. Now this is a terrible news for Manchester City, in my own opinion. The reason why I think like that is because when you think about the amount of the players that have left Man City, Ilkay Gundogan, whenever Kevin De Bruyne was always injured, Ilkay Gundogan has always been the player that steps up. We also have Mahrez, who left the club. Now Kevin De Bruyne gone. So these are 3 big influential players that are no longer with the club. Yes, people are talking about that they've signed Mateo Kovacic, and it seems like it's getting game time, which means Pep Guardiola trusts him, and he has come in straight in and just fitting into the team of Man City. Something that usually takes time for players to get into those, but it's still a home. And if you have been watching Man City, as much as they are playing, it seems like they are still trying to come back. Their preseason is still happening while the Premier League is already on. So I don't know. It's something that we need to keep an eye on, and we see how it's gonna play out. But at the moment, that's where we are. I would like to hear your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about that injury, and how much would that actually affect the team? The other news, Arsenal played Nottingham Forest, and 20 minutes into the game, Julian Timber also fell into his knees. The reason he went out is because he also picked up an injury. An injury that we thought maybe it was going to be something that took him out for some weeks, but we have just confirmed it today with Arsenal that it is actually an ACL injury, and that will keep him for at least minimum 7 months to almost 8. So that's a new signing that Arsenal were banking on, we're excited over, who's going to be out for the next 8 to 10 months. We have seen this ACL, how much of an impact it can cause to any team. I've seen it with my player Virgil van Dijk. Even up to now, he hasn't yet recovered. Even though he's trying to do well, you can see that he's no longer the same player that we used to know, and that's how much an ACL injury can affect. And now we don't know how that one will play out, but that's where we are. According to some rumors we are being told, it looks like Arsenal are looking at some targets so that they can come in and try to help out while Timber is recovering. So I don't know, are they going to get players on loan or actually going to sign a player? Those are some of the questions we're going to be looking at to see how it goes over the transfer window. Remember, we're left with almost 2 weeks before the window comes to an end, so there's still some business that can be done. So we need to give it a time and actually see how that one will play out. The last injury, the main injury that was picked up this week was actually the one that picked up by Tyrone Mings. Yes, the Aston Villa captain, when they were playing with Newcastle, he fell down, and according to what we were told, it was an injury to his knee, and it seems like it's really, really terrible, which could keep him as well for some number of months. And this is not something that any of the people expected at the beginning of the season, that so many players will be out, but that's where we are. And if I am very, very intelligent and maybe clever as the team, I could be going trying to look for the replacement, somebody who can come in and actually take over the positions of these people. Or maybe they're good with the teams that they are. But with Aston Villa, it showed in the match. That's why they were walloped by 5-1 by Newcastle. So many questions to ask. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Those are the injury news that we have of today. If there's anything that I forgot, let me know in the comment section. So we also need to talk about one of the craziest decisions that was done by the referee and referee association this week, which was on the Monday night game between Manchester United and Wolves, a game which Manchester United were just passengers into the game. How they scored a goal, I have no idea. Maybe we need to talk about how Wolves need to find maybe a player, or maybe try to find a way to improve so that they start taking advantage of the goals, because they have a striker in front of them who's doing so well, but somehow it reminds me of Traore, who works so hard to create something but does not finish. So many questions that needs to be asked. But where we are at the moment as we speak is what happened in the game between Wolves versus Manchester United in the last minute, where Onana came in. I don't know what he was doing, a tackle, attacked the goalkeeper, he attacked the player, and he did not even touch the ball. Now, usually whenever a keeper goes for the player and does not touch the ball, you would expect maybe a free kick if it's outside, or maybe a penalty if it's in the 8 area. Somehow, Manchester United get away with this with no any decision, and the Premier League Ref Association, the PGM or something like that, came out and apologized to Wolves, but that would not help them to regain the 3 points because they were played. Now there are so many questions to be asked. I have no idea how this will play out, but we'll see. But as you can see, so many people were not happy. But over to that, let's talk about Onana. He did have one of the best debuts in Manchester United as a Manchester United goalkeeper, but I think sometimes it's too much, if you understand what I mean. He has this craziness in him that controls him, if that even makes sense. So it's something that you have to keep an eye on to see how that one will play out. But that's where we are with the Onana situation, that there was a decision that was made terribly, and we are hoping that maybe this doesn't happen again. But how do we help the clubs that have been robbed? That's my question. Let me know in the comment section. Liverpool's transfer collapse against Chelsea this week. One of the craziest sagas that has ever happened in the transfer window is the Moises Caicedo, Romeo Lavia saga, which involved Liverpool and Chelsea. Now, this saga hurts me the most because, I was the one who was on the receiving end of everything that happened. Liverpool were working almost for some time now to try to sign Romeo Lavia. Chelsea had dropped out of the race, and Arsenal as well had dropped out of the race. Liverpool working on that, then all of a sudden we saw Chelsea coming back bidding for Romeo Lavia. Nobody understood what was happening, but we expected maybe this was being done so that, I don't know, so that they try to create what we call competition. Then after bidding for Romeo Lavia, the next day we discovered that, oh, Liverpool had also bid for Moises Caicedo, which explained why Chelsea had to try to disturb Liverpool's pursuit for Romeo Lavia. Everyone is excited at Anfield. We are forgetting that we needed Romeo Lavia into this team. Now we are only focusing on Caicedo because, of course, you know who the bigger player is. Out of that excitement, we learned that Chelsea were going to try to do the impossible. Brighton accepted Liverpool's bid. After accepting the bid, the players' camp stops Liverpool from moving on. And what happened was this. Before even bidding, Liverpool approached Moses Caicedo's representatives, even the player. Klopp talked to the player, if we remember, that's how we were told by the journalists. Anyone who believes them after all. They told us that Liverpool talked to the player, and it seemed like there was an agreement that they could try to do this. But the players' camp said that he was going to give Chelsea the first preferences because they were the first club to bid. Then we are saying, okay, Chelsea won't make it because they've transferred. They would be in trouble with the PFL, financial fair play. Okay, every Liverpool fan is excited. Our bid is accepted. Then Chelsea worked out on one of the craziest deals from a transfer British record, which was set by Liverpool to 111. I think it was 111 million pounds for the player. Chelsea went in and bid 115 million pounds. I don't know how good the deal was, but the deal was able to force Brighton to break their own rule that they said that the player will be sold in the time that Liverpool bid for him. And they signed this. After doing this, we also learned that, oh, Romeo Lavia and this camp preferred Chelsea and they did not want to go anywhere, which meant that they played Liverpool. Moises Caicedo. Now, after this thing happened, Liverpool decided to go back to Romeo Lavia, and Romeo Lavia said that, how could you do me like this? You just threw me out, and in the past 40 days, I didn't know where I was going. Now you come back with a higher bid, which was 60. Chelsea decided to bid for about 50 something or something like that, 55 plus add-ons or something like that. Then Romeo Lavia decided to go against even Liverpool and decided to choose Chelsea, which meant that all the two players, if it was a chess game, Liverpool were beaten big time because they lost both of the two players, the one who was supposed to be theirs and the one who used them. Klopp and the board were fuming because these are not the first two DMs to refuse us. Too many did that. Jude Bellingham, even though people want to say Liverpool walked away from that deal, but people say that he refused that as well. And Sophia Amrabat, what we're told is that Liverpool also were rejected by him. Not really sure about it. I don't have any confirmation over that one, but that's where we are. So now as we stand, as things stand right now, we are in a situation where Liverpool needs to get a deal done. The reason why they need to get a deal done is because we need a defensive midfielder. We cannot go to another week without a defensive midfielder. We saw it in the game against Chelsea, how much Liverpool struggled to even create something meaningful. So there is a lot of things that still has to happen. And, you know, for my pride as a Liverpool fan, I'm really hoping that my club does something. So, as things stand right now, Romeo Lavia, Moises Caicedo was announced by Chelsea the day before yesterday. Romeo Lavia was announced actually yesterday. So now what's happening is that the medicals of Lavia is what's happening. Moises Caicedo is already presented, working with these new teams, and they're also working on another player to sign, which is called Alice. So there is a lot of things that is happening when it comes to transfers to Chelsea, but Liverpool were left in the mud. Man, that was so painful. That was so painful. It's one of the greatest transfer collapse I've ever seen in such a long period of time. Neymar to Saudi. One of the craziest news that we've heard is that Neymar decided to say that to PSG, okay, you don't want me, your fans are booing in my house, I'm walking away. And he's going to be treated like royalty in the Saudi League where he's going. He's making around 500k every single day. That tells you how much the money he has signed on to. and it seems like he is gonna be offered a big house with around 425 million rooms or something like that, with a crazy pond. It looks like life is looking so good for this guy, and it's crazy that we are here now, because this guy should have already been somewhere, but he could not ever live out to the likes of Neymar and the likes of Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. It looks like he, as much as you always believed that he was good and he could prove it, he always came second to somebody else every single time. Kylian Mbappe, PSG, and maybe Messi at Barcelona. So it's crazy. But as we speak, it has been confirmed he's no longer a PSG player. He's going to be playing in the Saudi League, and that's where we are. Talking about the Saudi League, they are in discussion with the UEFA Champions League, where they are deciding, or they're asking UEFA, that they're thinking that maybe UEFA would add them into the group stages of the Champions League, as they believe that they are a strong league and they need to be recognized. But you have to understand, UEFA Champions League, the reason it's called the UEFA Champions League is because it's a European tournament. These guys are coming from the Asian East, that side, or wherever they are coming from, try to join in because of the power of money. The question is this: would UEFA accept? You never know. Money, if money is in play, some people's heads are usually prone to turn. So where we stand at the moment is that we are just being told this is rumors. Nothing yet has been confirmed. Nothing yet has actually been released. The information we have been told, that's where we are at the moment. What do you think will happen? Do you want the teams of Cristiano Ronaldo and the rest actually playing in the Champions League, Europa League, and the Europa Conference League? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do me a favor, click the like button and subscribe to the content as we continue with all the news that is happening here, people. Mason Greenwood could be coming back to Manchester United. So today there was a club statement that was released by United talking about Mason Greenwood, talking about their investigation and how they were now in the last stages of this thing to actually decide whether Mason comes back or not. But after that, we did see somebody who came out, a journalist, giving some thoughts and also some important information that maybe the club statement did not really reveal, which looked like maybe Eric Ten Hag and some of the players at this are actually thinking of maybe Mason Greenwood coming back to the team, so that they try to create maybe something meaningful which can last for some time. I don't really know what's going to happen, because there are so many groups that are going to be hurt by this, especially human rights groups and the rest. But one thing that they have to understand, the same girlfriend who was also into this thing is the same girlfriend who's living with Mason Greenwood. I think they already have, or they're expecting a child, and it looks like their family is moving on. But to father had to be humbled to start treating people like human beings, not trying to, do some craziness. But anyway, he was proven that he's free. He's a free man. He is not guilty. Now we wait to see what United decide. Mason Greenwood was one of the best players I know, and I hope that we get to see him as soon as possible. So it's exciting times. It's exciting times for United. Let's see where they will be. Manchester City wins the Super Cup. So now they've completed the quadruple, with now lastly being the Super Cup. If they'd won the what do we call this? If they'd won maybe the energy drink cup, they would have actually won 5 trophies in the bounce. But they won 5 in this, where we are gonna be seeing them as one of the well respected and maybe favorites to try and do it again. But they won. The game ended in penalties. It was an open game. They opened so many chances, and if Sevilla were taking all the chances that they were creating, they would have hurt them horribly, and we'll be talking about another funeral rather than what we're talking about right now. But the way we are at this moment, it looks like Pep Guardiola Spain has done it. Palmer again with another goal, keeping the team in. I don't know what's next. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section as we stand. The other news that is happening is this. Newcastle and Chelsea are very close to agreeing a deal for Ho, the defender, the young kid who has been playing at the right. He has looked like he's the top talent, one best star that has attracted so many eyes from different sides of the world, and so many people are excited about him. The question is this: how far will this go? And let's see where he will be. But I can tell you is this: he is here, and it looks like he could be going to Newcastle. £35 million is what is being rumored. That's a lot of money for a 17-year-old, but he's somebody with so much experience who looks like he could be something for the future. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think of this deal? Lastly but not least, Liverpool have decided to sign a £30 million 30-year-old Japanese star who by the name of, is it Enzo something, Wataru Endo? It looks like he will be joining Liverpool now. It's already a done deal. He's coming as well as, I think, the immediate replacement to our problem that we're dealing with. In fact, don't be surprised if he's not. He's already in the game that we're playing against Bournemouth. The reason why we signed this, it seems like Liverpool are still working on some of the top targets or maybe priority targets that they want. Check Decore has been rumored as one of the players that Liverpool wants to sign. We have also heard of some of the players that are moving as well. As you can see, I am moving as well. Sophia Amrabat, it looks like something could actually happen, as we are expecting to see some moves, and we hope that we can get something at the very end. But one thing I can confirm to you is Liverpool have signed a 30-year-old who will be the replacement or the quick player to come and get in. It seems like he has so much information, and maybe he could be playing the James Milner role where he comes in and play. He plays so many positions, defense also being one of them. Right back, I think. He plays as a defensive midfielder. There are so many things to look out with this guy. So there should be some buzz into this. 18 million, there is a reason why he had to cost around that 80 million euro, but there is a buzz that we should be excited about. Let's see how that one will play out. Let's see where we'll go as far as we are trying to rebuild. Sophia Amrabat, he was rumored to be joining Manchester United, but it looks like Scott McTominay is not going to be moving. It looks like Harry Maguire has decided not to go to Everton. And now, lastly but not least, there is also something that is happening as well. So, to be honest, I really don't know as well. Check the Core, Adrian from Brazil. There are so many players who could be moving. Liverpool needs to get a DM and at least another midfielder. Then lastly, a defender. We need to be ready for the new season. I don't mind to have the player that they've signed, but I need more. I need at least 1 or 2 midfielders before I can start demanding, like, because it's really important to create something that can be strong and actually be able to compete. I'm not counting the new signing yet out for Liverpool. I'm really hopeful. Let's see what he's going to be able to do. It's his dream move and they've allowed him to move. Let's see how that one will play out. But do me a favor, click the like button, subscribe to the Connect. Let me know your thoughts. What are you expecting from the news and everything that is happening when it comes to the transfer news? Let's go as we wait to see where we'll be next. Click the like button, subscribe to the Connect. If I messed up on any other news, let me know in the comment section. But I'll try by all means to cover as much as I can. We'll be back again next week around maybe this time or maybe a little bit earlier, where we'll be talking about whatever that will be happening that week. And guys, I'm sorry that you were not able to see the review show of the Premier League. There were some technical difficulties. In fact, I've lost the video. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to remake the video so that I can post it anywhere, or what, or you just want me to do it in a straightforward manner. Come next week. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'm out. Click the like button and subscribe to the Connect. Keep viewing, keep subscribing, and keep sharing. That's the best way you support the Connect. I'm out. Peace. We are.